The world keeps getting better when women make it a habit to fix each other's crowns and exclusively focus on picking up the broken pieces in the lives of other women. With great passion for women, children, and marriages, your hosts Ntwatwa Evelyn, Emma, Lorena, Diana D, Rhoda, and Lorita bring you the irresistible Woman to Woman reality talk show. Feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more about this eventful and exciting show. Woman to Woman reality talk show. You're welcome.
Hello and welcome to Woman reality talk show, where we have a heart-to-heart
embracing womanhood.
Today, Rhoda and Lorene are not with us, but Dee, Emma, and I are so ready for the show. You are most welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
You look so beautiful.
As always.
Wow, we are in the Women's Month. And one of the reasons as to why we celebrate women, it's because of the so many beautiful and amazing things that they do. But also we can't forget that there are so many terrible things that they go through, the situations, especially in their marriages, in their relationships, as single parents. So today, it being a Women's Month, we wanted to honor it with this kind of topic. So our topic of discussion today is about abuse. We want to look at abuse, and we are not saying that it's only women that are being abused, but also men are sometimes or most times abused. But today in specific, we want to look at want to concentrate on the women.
Anyway, after all, it's a woman to woman.
A woman to woman. That is beautiful. So my ladies, in your own terms, how would you define abuse?
Okay, I think abuse could be emotional or physical mistreatment of a human being, of a person. So if you emotionally, you can be emotionally abused, you can be physically abused. So that's what I would take to be like abuse. Could be something that could be emotional or physical. Mistreatment of someone.
Okay.
Even psychological.
Exactly.
And I think when you talk about psychological, it reminds me that there are so many ways someone can be abused. Just like you said, physical, psychological, there is sexual, there is emotional. All those are ways how someone can really be abused. And today we want to see, why do people choose to be abusive, or why are people abusive?
Since we are really you say like in a relationship, and I think we are talking about
the women,
the women in particular.
Yes. Why?
So why are women being abused by men in their relationships? So Emma, what do you think?
Why are women being abused? I think at times it's the upbringing of the man. There are some men who have grown up in families where they saw their father beating up their mom. They saw their father shouting at their mom, shouting at the children. It was like a war zone.
I know.
So, they grew up thinking, I think this is how a man is supposed to behave in his home. As the head of the family, I'm the king. So whether I shout and slap and what, this is how I saw things happening, and they think that is how things are supposed to be done. So I think at times it is like the upbringing. So when Emma talks about like upbringing and specifically for the men, I realize that in some homes, men, especially during those days, where men felt like if I torture this woman, I'll be seen as a very powerful man. So for them
ego.
to have that ego to gain that, I don't know how
you feel like you're superior. Those guys are brought up like you should be superior. I'm the man. So the way I have to best express myself is everyone is listening, and if you're not listening, then
I have to show you that I'm the man of the home. I get
so that. I think then also women, as we're celebrating women today, it's they have that to bring up their boys in a way in their homes that is not really that you have to respect women. You can't beat up women. You have to do this. And I think also emotionally why people abuse people, like some guys don't like themselves.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like he doesn't like himself.
Yeah.
So then it has to reflect. It comes out
Yes.
because he's feeling this emotionally. He doesn't like himself because of reasons he knows better.
Yeah.
Probably, he has issues with maybe his peers, his friends, and everything. So then when he gets home, he puts all these emotions out on you.
Yes.
And you know when I look, I would also look at it in this other way, that yes, you don't love yourself,
Yeah.
but also you have not realized who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Some men don't really know where they are, like they're in space.
They're
look,
still figuring it out.
they're still figuring it out. They don't have identity.
By the way, truthfully.
Yes, when
Like
you don't
even
have
right now,
identity.
even right now, you think like you're also still figuring it out, like in this world.
Yes.
Yes.
Like until we leave, I believe you're still figuring it out.
So I think.
Okay, I think also low self-esteem.
Yeah,
true.
Very true.
I don't mean to be to be funny, but I've seen it in like the shorter guys. There's a story, there's
It's about
okay, Sam. Not all that.
Okay, no offense, I guess.
No offense.
Really, yeah.
Yes, but I know of a story. Diana is laughing.
Okay.
I know of a story of a certain lady.
Yeah.
The guy's esteem was really
Low.
down that side.
And that guy must have been short, like you said.
Yes, so that's why I gave that
Okay.
example. So he had made his money. He had money. And he, of course, when you have money, you can choose the best. His wife was really up there, So now they get married, and the man is so insecure. He's already
Yeah, funny enough, even when they make money, but when their esteem is low, they still,
Yes.
and they go out and then they choose also the nice things, and then they don't want to give them the best
Thank
treatment.
you. And then they have bodyguards at home, and then they have askaris, the cameras everywhere. And the woman was enclosed in the house. She felt like she was suffocating because of his esteem issues.
Yeah.
So I think also that is one of the reasons.
I know, so that I would term that as also insecurities.
Yeah.
Like, because I've seen in most like relationships, you find someone is rich, like a man, he's rich, but then probably the lady is so beautiful. And every time she walks out of that door,
Yeah.
the guy is like, oh my
scared.
God, she's taken. So because of those insecurities, they tend to bring up, those harsh treatments,
yes.
so that
And actually, even differences in levels of
of
education.
education, yeah.
Ah, that is a very
So
That is
these
like-
are guys who are going out there and they make their money.
Yeah.
After they make their money, they want to find this lady who is learned.
Yes.
Oh, she's bright, probably then I'll have better kids.
At that time,
And
they're very okay. I want a land.
And then after that, when you go into their home, and then they feel like everything you're talking.
You're knowledgeable.
Yeah. Like now, you feel like it's you who is always right. It's you who is always doing this. It's you. So
You bring
yeah.
ideas.
So even levels of education kind of.
It's very important.
Yeah, it's very because also us when we are learned, you're just like I want a guy who has something.
I
Then after reaching there, you think the person is going to be like you can't be on the same footing. But then it's also very hard for them to accept that.
Yes.
And when they can't accept that, then it also becomes a challenge. So at the end of the day, you end up being abused because of that.
Yeah.
So levels of education also bring in that, especially in relationships or marriages, because the other one starts thinking, oh, because you think you're learned, or because you think it's the other one.
That's
you
why
think
you're
always
acting like the way you are.
Like
You
you're trying
understand?
to prove a point.
Exactly.
That I'm still the
Like,
man.
yeah, whether you learned or anything, I'm still here, I'm still going to lead.
And I would also think sometimes people are mentally disturbed, like they have
Mental
an
issues.
illness.
Yeah, and the thing is, like in the African setting, actually people don't tell us that people don't really recognize the fact that people are sick.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
out there, the moment someone, you act your
Act
behavior
that very
different
weird
way,
way,
you start
they take
taking some medication, this.
No,
But
they
everyone
actually-
thinks like
not
it's
even
okay.
medication.
But people are sick actually.
They actually take you and like should I call it like screening? They check to see what exactly is with your brain, because you're acting
We
out of
have
that
situations
normal.
whereby some people are not growing. So you find a guy who is 40, but then he's in a body of like his mind is 20 or 15.
Yeah,
So he has to do things of a 15-year-old, and then you're just like, what is happening to me? Why is this guy treating me this way? Like, but the guy is actually sick.
But you know, just like they say, everyone has a mental disorder.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes for some
percentage.
people, that percentage is really high. So you realize that someone has a problem and they have not noticed that he has a problem. So you find him torture a woman, and this woman every time she goes probably maybe home to the friends, no, but when we look at your husband, he looks okay, he is fine, you get. So no one comes out to take a step to find out that is he really okay. So I think mental illness is really key. People need to check it out.
Yeah. And so that means that people really if you're like a woman in such a situation, you need to understand that this person probably is not fine. So now we are reaching out to you because we are communicating that you could be in that relationship and you're thinking that this person is abusing you, but probably their minds are of a 15-year-old or a 20-year-old. So you need to be also very considerate about that.
I remember when Emma talked about background, where we come from. I also think there is a problem where people tend to have poor communication.
Yeah.
So when someone cannot communicate properly, they end up treating others in a bad way. I tell you something and you get it in a wrong way.
Exactly.
You get it?
Yeah.
So I think communication is very key,
yeah.
especially in marriage. You find maybe a man said something and I didn't get it right. So he comes home and he's like, I told you this, you get it. So I think communication, people really need to learn how to
Even our
communicate.
cultural beliefs sometimes bring in that kind of mistreatment.
Yeah.
So I think that brings that.
Yeah, but anyway, we are talking about abuse to our viewers out there who are watching us. But we want to know, especially for the women, why do they choose to stay? Someone is abusing you. They sometimes find it so hard to leave those abusive relationships or marriages. So why do they choose to stay?
I think I will go first. There are some pastors.
Okay.
Church leaders.
I swear.
going. Okay. Yeah.
In the Christian religion, divorce, separation is not allowed.
Yeah.
So I'm giving a scenario. I'm a church leader. Maybe I'm a pastor or something, or a pastor's wife.
Yeah.
I'm just giving an example. So we have this church, we have this congregation.
Yeah.
My husband beats me every night.
Yeah.
He abuses me, he slaps me, he does what? So I'm thinking, how would I leave this marriage? And yet we have a following of people.
Exactly.
What would they think?
Everyone
What
believes in
example
you.
would they give? Because he stands on the pulpit and he's preaching this and this. So for me to walk out of this marriage, what will it bring?
Exactly.
What example are we setting out? So I think it's a very, very big problem to these pastors' wives or religious leaders or something. So you hang in there so that your name is kept.
But Emma, you're talking about the leaders, but not forgetting even the church people. Because now me being a Christian, I realize that most of our friends or people in the
And
same
especially
category.
people who go to Watoto.
Everyone is watching. Everyone is watching to see.
Every time you post to us how you've gone to church.
You're a Christian. How come?
How do you walk out of your marriage?
How do you live your marriage? Maybe you're not prayerful. You see how they start tagging you with things like she's not prayerful.
The devil is in the middle of this.
So, but I think that is a very very nice
It's
good
a
point.
very, very big issue
Exactly.
that is in the church and it has not been addressed because we are fearing, people are going to say
And
this
people are not even out there to tell people, but when it gets, pray about it, do stuff about it, but when it gets out of hand, yes, it's okay to live.
You may not
But they
divorce,
tell you it is
you
not
can
okay
have-
to live. That's the only thing.
But you're not living is really different.
It's very hard, but
That's what I'm saying. When you talk about leaving, people will switch to divorce. You get it?
Yeah.
But there is this moment where someone can be like, oh no, let me
give
go
this
and
time
to the parents, have someone to talk to,
Yeah.
so that I see how the issue goes.
yeah. And I think also what has brought problems like people are being abused is the media right now.
Yeah.
You get married and then you're posting.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of then you see, you've gone here, you've done this, you've done. So you're just like, the people put pressure on you because already they are waiting.
Yeah,
and then they,
very far. Recently, let me tell you guys. Recently, I just celebrated our 10th anniversary, and someone commented. Yes, someone commented on my status like, "Enga, you're over. I hope you will your marriage will stay forever." I'm like, King Jesus, why do you even have to be negative? Like, why you can't?
Everybody's waiting for the tears.
When is it ending? You've been showing off.
Exactly.
But I mean,
so and even some guys take that advantage because they know you've been posting, you've been doing this. So they're like, there is no way out because the world is going to be laughing at you. They're going to be saying, oh, it ended in tears. But so they use that opportunity to just abuse you the way it is.
Going to believe in you.
Exactly. So and people don't want us to celebrate those happy moments of like, oh, I was happy at this particular time. So it puts pressure on you not to leave because what is now the audience going to say?
People are watching.
And they're always waiting for that moment.
And Diana, when you talk about like that kind of pressure, I realize that sometimes we even get it from family.
Yeah.
From family, like your very own people are telling you, no, you can't leave a man's home.
What do they say about us?
Like your mother tells you, we brought the whole clan to your wedding and your introduction. So how are we going to tell them? My daughter came back home because so it becomes really hard. But I guess also, just like I said, that we have that pressure. People fail to have support. When you fail to have a support system, ladies, especially like from the family, your very own, I'm telling you, you're going to stay there.
Yeah, because you're being abused, but then your mom is telling you, you have to stay in this marriage. And actually, there is no moving. What are people going to talk about us?
Yes.
Now you've been happy, and probably there are other relatives who are not so happy or who are divorced, and then you've been with people who are so like those people are going to laugh at us. Just keep in there, hang in there.
So failure to have that support is really terrible. And even from the friends, really. I believe like as women, we need to have that support system. Where like if I come to you, Emma, and I'm like, Emanuela, this is too hard for me. At least hold my hand, pray with me, tell me, let's see how we can handle, like you get, rather than you moving ahead and you're like, oh, she came to me, she told me her marriage. So when I hear those words, next time I'll not come back to you. They'll be like, let me.
But I think we also just have to accept because usually. It comes in and people tell you don't talk to people about your marriage. They're just going to go behind your back and talk about you. So you're just like you're stuck in that corner. Like I can't believe now if I tell this one the advice they'll give me, then they'll go talk about me behind. What I'm saying, talk about it. Let them sort themselves out. You understand? Like if you're hurting, talk about it that I'm hurting. Because me, I don't care. Even if you go and talk about it, she said she was hurting. It's well.
At the end of the day, you're hurting.
Me, I've released. I feel much better. So because people always talk.
I know.
But you guys, as we were growing up, we all had like dreams. Or dreams of how a beautiful marriage should look like. You get it. So I believe like sometimes those dreams really hold us back. And we choose to stay. Because like my picture of a happy marriage is I have to be here with my husband, with happy children. So every time.
And children actually, like when you talk about children, I think it's the sole reason why people are actually been stuck in there.
That one is,
you look at your 2-year-old.
Very common reason.
It's the only thing. All other things come in okay.
But that is the number one.
Children.
Because you had those dreams, you wanted to raise your children in a happy home with a happy husband, and then here is the very person.
You want your children to always have that father figure, to always know that marriage is beautiful.
And
then I've been thinking,
like having looked at how life has really been with people who grow up with single parents, maybe someone grew up with just the mother. Like sometimes life is not so like how someone would really want it to be. Like you get their struggles in how to get tuition or what and food. So people sometimes choose and they're like, oh, my children are going to suffer. Let me just be here. Because if the man is a breadwinner, it becomes really tight.
Very, because then you need that financial support. The moment you move out there, then it's going to be hard. But this is what I say. After discussing and knowing that, okay, this is the reason why people are abusing probably women, how it comes about, and then you being stuck in that situation. This is what I have to say to you, the woman out there who is going through this kind of situation. give it your all.
Yeah.
Give it your best.
That's
Even,
it.
you know, put yourself down to it. You know, be in that for, like we said, for all those reasons.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, tell yourself, am I worth all this?
Am I worth
There must
suffering?
be a step for you to stand up at one particular point.
Yeah.
Because when you stand up, you will have already realized that I've gone through all this for all these many reasons, but then I cannot be in such an abusive relationship. So but go through it. We don't say that the moment someone hits you, the moment you
Run.
have this run,
Yes.
go through all the torture that
Yeah.
your heart can take. Because the moment you say that, then it's time for me to move.
Yeah.
It should be that moment for
You
you.
have no
Because we've
regrets.
had things like you're going to and fro. Never do the to and fro.
Yeah. And Dana,
Because
just-
the moment your
just for-
spirit is really broken,
Yeah.
it will break to the point of where now you're just building it up that the moment I move out of here, it should be it.
Yes.
So I'm telling my fellow women, never move out of that home until you feel that my spirit has been broken to the end and it is time to build it myself.
But we are praying that it will not be broken. Just leave it there.
Because
Emma Emma had another point as to why women stay. What?
Yes, the point I wanted to say is some women come from really poor families.
Background.
So now the mother has she labored to educate this one, child,
Yes.
so that in future she will be the one to save the family. So now she goes through her life, she educates this child, she gets married to this rich man, and now you reach there and the guy is punching you. So now you're thinking, how do I live?
That's why we say like
And
financial
and that fear
constraints.
of
Yes.
that fear of
Because
like
I'm the
starting.
breadwinner of
So
my home
after going
now.
through all that, what do you tell that woman out there?
No, before we say that, I'm also thinking like, let me just share this. I have seen people go through it. Like someone tells you, it started small.
Yeah.
It started small. This guy was barking at me, shouting at me, doing this all other like things.
Yeah.
So, in the due process, you get used. You get used to that kind of torture. It becomes a cycle. So when it becomes a cycle, you get addicted to it.
It becomes normal.
You know how you beat a child, yeah? One stroke, she jumps. Another one, she jumps. The other one, she's like, okay, you beat.
Yeah.
You beat, like you get. Yeah? So I'm thinking when the pain is too much, it get just like you mentioned, the pain becomes too much and it becomes a cycle. You get used to it. So that can also cause the reasons why women choose to stay. Like, I am used to the pain. You get. Outside, people can be like, oh, she's suffering, she's going through adult, but it becomes like, hold on there.
That
Like,
brings
it
me to
becomes
what
an
you're saying.
addiction.
That if it has become, if you can bear it, it is not what someone is saying outside. Even if it's like for you can bear it because our level of bearing
I
is different.
was just giving another reason as to why women really choose to stay. Like it becomes an addiction. So that the way you're telling someone that hold on, be patient until it gets to a point where now that means that person has to break that addiction because I mean you're now addicted to the pain. You need to break that addiction. You get. But again, Dan, you're telling the women to be patient, to be all that. You are a person.
Yeah.
Would you really stay in that
I
relationship?
would stay. I would stay until, like I say, because for me that is because at the end of the day, when we are discussing all this, the other person in that abuse is saying, so what is my solution?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it is the solution for this person.
Yes.
That is what she's seeking. What can I do? That is why I said I would stay
You would stay
until
Okay.
that particular time.
Hold it there.
Yes.
Emma.
I think I would also stay.
Yeah.
You know, there's a way God built women. We are strong.
We are resilient.
Yeah.
We are resilient. We can go through situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Until it is threatening your life, I
Exactly.
think I would stay.
Yeah.
would stay.
Yeah, I would stay.
And
Would
okay.
you stay?
What should I say?
She's asking that, so would you stay?
Would you stay?
Oh well, I would stay, but it really depends. You know, sometimes it's quick.
Yeah.
It's easier to say I will or I'll jump out. But let me
Yeah.
tell you guys, unless you have found yourself in that very situation, that is when you can know whether you can or you cannot.
Yes.
But personally, I would say that I am not so sure. I am not sure whether I'll stay or I will not. But in that very situation, I know God will can give me the wisdom. So anyway, before we wind up, Emma, what is that one word you would send out to someone watching us? Probably a woman dying, crying every day, asking God, why am I in this? How do I get out of this? What is that one encouragement you would give that woman?
For me, what really works for me is prayer. You know, I found solace in prayer.
Wow.
And when you pray the right way, there is a peace that God gives you that you can't even understand.
Yeah.
You know, you can be in this war zone, but within you, you have peace that God has given you, and He takes you through that season. You know.
Yeah.
So me, I'm saying that the person out there, pray, seek God. Go on your knees, cry out to God. You know, He loves us. And by the time He has left you in that situation, you will not die.
Yes,
You know,
you
He will come and rescue you at a certain point. So for me, I would say, pray.
I love when you talk
Prayer
about
and seek
prayer
God,
because
yeah.
that is one thing that when we are going through terrible situations, that we may even forget to pray. But as you say that pray, I would say, or I would speak to a woman out there, or anyone out there going through a terrible situation, being abused, or you were raped, or you're being beaten every day, that as you pray, you need to seek counsel. And we have counselors, guys. I realize in
Professional
Africa,
counselors.
there is a way we don't even think counselors can do any work. You get it, yeah? We think like when I run to Emma and Emma fails, oh, it's all done. But I think we have counselors. Let's use them because these guys are there and waiting to help us. So as we seek counsel, let's also choose the right people, the right friends around us.
You can't know who is the
You
right
can't
friend.
know who is the
Okay,
right
I know,
friend.
but
You may think it's the right friend.
I know, but I know sometimes it's really
Seek
hard.
counsel,
Yeah?
from a
But
professional or
Yeah.
yes, but again, Dee, just like you say, at the end of the day, you will have to share.
Yeah.
So
Share
you
with
cannot
someone.
die in your
At
own
the end of the
movie.
day, share.
So you have to
Share.
find someone because you cannot share with the whole world.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to find someone that
Yeah.
you share with.
Yeah.
And again, another like key for me, really, if you're going through a terrible situation and someone is taking you through thick and thin, like we need to define how is a happy marriage looks like. Because sometimes we are into situations but we don't even know.
That is very,
know
that
what
is
is
very
better
relative
than
also. What is the
Let
happy
me-
marriage? That should be another topic.
Let me tell
I
you,
know.
we need to define and know how does happiness look like to me.
Because also happiness is relative.
It's relative.
Yes, and that is what I'm
Mm.
saying. So if you're being tortured,
Yeah.
that means that is not happiness. So if I wake up every morning and I feel like I'm not happy, I need to be sure
Yeah.
this is not happiness for me. So after having defined what happiness looks like, I need someone who treats me well, someone who cares about my issues and all that. Then I have defined it, and then there I'll be ready and I'll be strong and brave enough to walk out and seek counsel.
Okay, for me, like, okay, what I would say is get financial
Stability.
stability.
Very important.
Yeah,
if you have money,
Mm.
all this is not going to happen to you. Someone is going to respect you. So a woman out there, even if it means that you're going to start small
Diana, just
or
a
with
question.
something,
Are you trying to say those that have the money are not being...
the extent is
It's
not
not
as
on a high
yes.
extent.
Someone, yeah, it's usually on a high extent when someone really is not
Independent.
financially doing well.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you still want your marriage, go out there and do something. Do
Keep yourself
something for
busy.
yourself because you're staying there because you're financially restricted. You can't do this for yourself. You can't pay fees. You can't take care of yourself. And if you have the money and you're being abused, just look good. You know, when you look good. Go out there every day. Do some shopping for yourself. I'm very serious about this because it has to start within.
serious.
When you look in the mirror and you're like, I look good. I don't
love what I
deserve this.
see.
Yes.
You must
Start
love what
with
you see.
You must love yourself.
Oh, anyway, we cannot get it all. I want to say thank you so much, my ladies, and to our viewers. Thank you so much for staying here. And please, like our channel, subscribe, share to your friends.
Yes.
And please leave your comments in the section.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think or what your ideas or your views are about abusing.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
The world keeps getting better when women make it a habit to fix each other's crowns and exclusively focus on picking up the broken pieces in the lives of other women. With great passion for women, children, and marriages.
Your hosts, Ntwatwa Evelyn, Emma,
Lorena, Diana D, Rhoda, and Lorita bring you the irresistible Woman to Woman reality talk show. Feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more about this eventful and exciting show. Woman to Woman reality talk show. You're welcome.